All right, let's get into it, because this whole situation has officially gone off the rails. Once again, the infamous tush push is under fire, and the Philadelphia Eagles are right in the center of the storm. But what's really wild? Here isn't just the push itself. It's the ridiculous way the rest of the NFL, especially the Green Bay Packers, are reacting to it. I mean, let's call it what it is. The Packers have officially submitted a revised proposal to ban the tush push, and honestly, it reeks of sore loser energy, flat out. If you can't stop the play on the field, just complain loud enough in the boardroom and try to get it erased from existence, right? Now let's break this down, because the timing is crucial. NFL owners are meeting this week, and a final decision could drop at any moment within the next 24 to 48 hours. It's all coming to a head. The league needs at least 24 out of 32 owners to vote in favor of banning the play for it to be officially gone. And earlier in the year, back in April, when this whole debate flared up again, they actually held a vote. What happened? Deadlocked. A 16-16 split. That should have been the end of it. No majority, no ban, right? But then Commissioner Roger Goodell steps in. And instead of letting it die like it should have, he pushes the conversation to this week's meetings. Because surprise, surprise, he's not a fan of the play either. And let's not forget where this all started gaining traction. The Packers, yup. Green Bay has been leading the charge to get this thing outlawed ever since the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. Everyone was talking about the brotherly shove, and you could feel it gaining steam. Then, just before the owners' meetings earlier this offseason, the Packers doubled down, and now, boom! They've dropped a revised proposal that's just absurd. So here's the ridiculous part. This new version of their proposal basically rewrites the rulebook to make any form of helping the runner a penalty. Not just pushing, not just pulling, not even lifting. Nope, any assistance whatsoever, unless you're directly blocking a defender, would be banned. Read that again. If you're an offensive player and you so much as think about helping your teammate by doing anything other than blocking a defender, it's a flag. 10-yard penalty, just like that. Why? According to them, it's about player safety and the pace of play. Come on! Since when does the NFL actually make radical changes over pace of play unless there's some financial incentive behind it? The league has leaned into replays, endless ad breaks, chain measurements, with actual humans carrying sticks in an era of microchip tracking. But this play, they want to single this out as the thing slowing the game down. Please, and the safety argument. The NFL's own studies show there haven't been injuries caused by this play. None. Zero. So how exactly are we going to sit here and pretend this is about protecting players? It's not. This is about jealousy. This is about teams who couldn't figure it out, couldn't stop it, and now want to remove it because they're tired of getting beat by it. Let's be real. The Packers tried to run it themselves with Jordan Love and failed miserably. There's actual tape of him trying to replicate the play against the Falcons, stumbling over his own feet. It was embarrassing, and it's not just him. Teams across the league have tried and failed. Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, none of them could move the chains with it. Why? Because not every team has a quarterback built like Jalen Hurts who can squat over 600 pounds. Not every team has an elite offensive line like the Eagles. So instead of admitting that Philadelphia has simply mastered a high-level football play through technique, strength, and strategy, teams like Green Bay just cry foul. And let's not forget, Green Bay has reason to be salty. They lost to the Eagles not once but twice last season. They couldn't stop the play. Couldn't stop Hurts, couldn't stop the Eagles' run game. So now they want the league to step in and do it for them. That's not football. That's not competition. That's lobbying because you lost fair and square. And you know what makes this even funnier? That original Green Bay proposal got only 16 votes. It didn't even get close to passing. And now, somehow, we're still here. Still talking about it. Still on the verge of seeing it banned. They lost the vote and still might win the battle. If that doesn't scream politics, I don't know what does. Here's an idea for the Packers. Instead of trying to delete the playbook, maybe try tackling Saquon Barkley in week 1 when he debuts as an Eagle down in Brazil. Maybe try stopping Dallas Goedert when he's steamrolling through your defense like he did in the playoffs. Maybe try not throwing 3 picks and racking up 8 penalties and 4 turnovers the next time you're in a big game. Just a thought. All of this makes The Packers look weak, desperate, and honestly overrated. Yeah, I said it. Overrated organization. Sure, they've got history. Bart Starr, Vince Lombardi, they've got their legacy moments, but what have they done with 2 decades of elite quarterback play from Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers? 2 Super Bowl wins, too, from 1992 to 2022. That's a massive window of opportunity, and they came away with only 2 titles. For all the hype, that is not a dynasty. That's underachieving. And don't even get me started on the hypocrisy across the league. Sean McDermott out in Buffalo said he doesn't like the play, thinks it's dangerous, yet guess who ran it more than any team besides the Eagles last year? Yep, the Bills. So what's he gonna do now if the league keeps it legal? Just pretend he never said anything? Tell Josh Allen, hey, I know I was against it, but let's keep doing it anyway. Talk about clown behavior. Meanwhile, Nick Sirianni over in Philly laid it out perfectly. He said it's kind of insulting that people think this play is automatic. The Eagles work on this constantly. The fundamentals, the coaching, the timing, it's not a fluke. It's not cheap. It's the result of countless hours of practice and film study and physical preparation. It's no different than any other play. They've just mastered it. And if it's so easy, why isn't everyone else doing it successfully? The truth is the tush push is football. It's grit versus grit. It's man versus man. A hat on a hat. You win at the point of attack. You move the chains. That's as old school as it gets. It's a direct test of strength and precision, and honestly, it adds an extra layer of drama. Everyone knows it's coming. Everyone knows what's about to happen. And yet defenses still can't stop it. That's the beauty of it. That's football. Look, if teams are really worried about pace of play, why aren't we talking about the countless replays that drag out games? The unnecessary TV, timeouts, the delay while they bring out the chains to measure by hand. There's tech for that now, and we're still acting like it's 1985. But nah, the problem is the Eagles pushing Jalen Hurts forward for 2 yards. That's the big crisis. Miss me with that. And if this gets banned, and it really does feel like we're heading that way, don't think for a second that it's going to hurt the Eagles in the long run. They'll adapt. They've got the coaching. They've got the talent. They'll find new wrinkles, new ways to move the ball. But let me tell you, if they end up playing the Packers this year at Lambeau, I hope they line up and run some sneaky version of the tush push anyway, just to remind Green Bay who they are. Just to twist the knife a little bit. At the end of the day, this entire conversation highlights one thing. When a team does something that works, when they innovate, when they dominate, people will try to tear it down instead of figuring out how to stop it. That's exactly what's happening here. The Eagles have something that works. It's legal, it's effective, it's safe. And the league is bending over backwards to get rid of it because a few teams can't handle it. So to every Eagles fan out there, to everyone who respects the grind of building a real unstoppable unit, this one's for you. Type FGB in the chat and let the world know. If you don't like the brotherly shove, stop it. Until then, line up and get shoved. Go Birds. Now let's dive even deeper. Because this play is more than just a clever trick or some short yardage gimmick. It's become a symbol of how far a team can push the boundaries of physical dominance, strategy, and execution when all the pieces align. And that's why so many people are mad about it. This is not just about the play itself. This is about a franchise being so good at something, so precise, so unrelenting, that the rest of the league had to say, nope, let's change the rules. And that's when it stops being about football and starts being about politics. This is the NFL telling you that if you get too good at something, if you dominate it a little too consistently, there's a target on your back. It's the same league that allows teams to throw bubble screens all day, line up in motion 50 times pre-snap, run exotic shifts and misdirections, but heaven forbid you push your quarterback 2 yards up the middle. Then it's a problem. Then it's unfair. Then it's dangerous. The hypocrisy is stunning. You want to know what's really dangerous in the NFL? How about a free-running linebacker drilling a wide receiver who just made a catch over the middle? How about a quarterback getting blindsided on a missed block? How about special teams collisions where guys are running full speed into each other? With no protection? That's real danger. That's where injuries happen. And yet a controlled, compact, low-speed play like the tush push, where everyone is bunched together, helmets low, bodies tight. That's what they're going after in the name of safety? Give me a break. And let's be real, if this play wasn't being executed by the Philadelphia Eagles, this wouldn't even be a conversation. If this was the Miami Dolphins doing it and it was called the Dolphin Dive, or if the Jaguars pulled it off and it became the Jacksonville Jam, nobody would care. But because it's Philly, because it's the Eagles, and because they're doing it better than anyone else in the league, the hate starts rolling in it. The salt levels skyrocket. That's always how it goes. This is the city that's used to being doubted, used to being disrespected. No one likes us. We don't care. That's more than just a slogan in Philly. It's a way of life. And right now, the Eagles are being punished for being too good. That's the bottom line. This isn't about fairness. This isn't about competitiveness. It's about jealousy. It's about the rest of the league realizing they can't replicate the play. So they're trying to legislate it out of existence. You look at the way this play is designed. It's a masterpiece of coordination. It's not just brute force. It's timing. It's rhythm. It's footwork. It's leverage. You need the perfect snap. The linemen have to fire off the ball at just the right angle. The quarterback has to hit the exact crease at the right moment. And then, yeah, the backs come in behind and add that final push, but it only works if everything else is flawless. That's not a cheap play. That's not cheating. That's excellence. And if you listen to Nick Sirianni talk about it, you can hear the pride. You can hear the detail. He knows how hard they've worked to perfect it. He knows it's not automatic. He knows it's not guaranteed. They've missed on it before. They failed on 2-point conversions. They've come up short on 4th and 1. It happens, but they've also succeeded at a level no other team has even come close to. And that success didn't come from luck. It came from reps, from coaching, from physical preparation, and from a front office that built one of the best offensive lines we've ever seen. Jeff Stoutland, the Eagles' offensive line coach, deserves so much credit here. He's built a unit that can take over games. He teaches technique at a level most coaches only dream of. And then you've got Jalen Hurts, who, let's be honest, is not just another quarterback. He is a powerhouse, a calm, composed leader who squats 600 pounds and doesn't blink in the biggest moments. Combine that with Jason Kelce, Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson. These guys are maulers. This play is what happens when you put elite minds and elite bodies in perfect harmony. And still, teams cry about it. Still, they whine. They say it's not football, not a real play. What does that even mean? Since when does football come? With a limit on how creative or dominant you're allowed to be. That's the whole point of the game. Find something the defense can't stop and run it until they figure it out. If they never figure it out, that's their problem. It's not on you to dial it back. That's the essence of the sport. Think about the legacy this kind of play creates. When you see the Eagles line up on 4th and 1, the whole stadium knows what's coming. The defense knows. The fans know. The broadcasters know. And they still do it. And they still get it. That's demoralizing. That's imposing your will. That's what football is supposed to be about. You don't back off from that. You embrace it. But now, with this rule proposal from Green Bay, they're trying to turn the sport into something it's not. Something sanitized, something easier to manage. They want to erase one of the few truly physical, gritty plays left in the game under the guise of making it safer. And it's just not true. But the data doesn't back it. The tape doesn't support it. The players themselves don't believe it. Yet here we are, on the verge of a rule change that nobody except a few sore losers actually want. The worst part? If this passes, it sets a precedent. What's next? Banning combo blocks? Outlawing double teams? Are we going to get to a point where the offensive line can't help a running back gain extra yards in a pile? Because that's where this logic leads. And suddenly the entire foundation of short yardage football starts to crack. You remove the ability for players to assist each other in close contact. And you're gutting what makes the trenches so special. And we've already seen the hypocrisy with its rule enforcement in other areas of the game. Defensive players routinely push each other into a pile. Defensive linemen get help from linebackers diving in to plug gaps. Nobody calls that. Nobody bans it. But when the offense does it, when a team succeeds at it over and over, then it becomes a problem? Well, that's not consistent. That's not fair. That's targeting. And let's not forget the fans in all of this. Because at the end of the day, this league exists because people love the sport. People love watching dominance. They love watching execution. When the Eagles run that play, the energy in the building changes. You feel the tension. You feel the crowd hold its breath. It's electric. Why would you want to take that out of the game? What's the benefit? So here's the challenge for the NFL. Stop being scared of innovation. Stop being scared of excellence. Embrace it. Lean into it. Let teams figure out how to stop the brotherly shove. Let them get creative. Let defenses try new alignments, new stunts, new personnel packages. That's how the game evolves. Not by banning the play, by forcing everyone else to rise to the challenge. And you know what? Some already have. The Kansas City Chiefs, for example, figured it out. In the AFC Championship, the Buffalo Bills tried their version of the tush push, and they failed 4 times. 4 tries, 0 conversions. And that played a major role in them losing that game. You know what Steve Spagnuolo did? He studied the tape. He found a pattern. He saw that Josh Allen always leaned left on the play. So they overloaded that side and blew it up. That's how you do it. That's how you respond. You don't run to the rule book and beg for change. You adapt. You strategize. You coach. You build. That's football. And that's why this whole crusade against the tush push is such a bad look for the league. It punishes success and discourages innovation. It tells teams, if you find something that works too well, we'll take it away. And here's a prediction. Even if the play gets banned, it's not over. And the Eagles will come up with something new, something creative. They'll adjust, they'll evolve. Maybe it won't be called the brotherly shove anymore, but it'll have the same impact. And when they visit Green Bay or play them at home, you can bet there's going to be a special package installed just for that game. A little something to remind the Packers who really owns that line of scrimmage. This whole debate has exposed how much of the NFL is about perception and power, not always performance. The Packers failed at the play, couldn't handle losing to the Eagles, and now they're trying to rewrite the rules. It's weak, it's political, and it's everything wrong with how the league sometimes handles competition. But in Philly, they don't care. They'll keep grinding, keep innovating, keep running through anyone who stands in the way. And if the tush push gets banned, just remember, it didn't get beat on the field. It got beat in a boardroom. And that's not something to celebrate. That's something to be embarrassed about. So here's the final thought for now. If you're scared of the shove, it's not the play that's the problem. It's your defense. Fix that first. Until then, line up, get low, and get ready to get pushed. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The Philadelphia Eagles are once again at the center of NFL speculation as rumors swirl around the future of quarterback Jalen Hurts. According to insider sources, the team's general manager is reportedly exploring options to bring in a new quarterback, casting doubt on Hurts' long-term role as the franchise's leader under center. Hurts, who signed a massive contract extension last year and was once seen as the cornerstone of the Eagles' future, has had a season full of ups and downs. Despite moments of brilliance, his inconsistency, especially in high-stakes situations, has raised eyebrows within the organization. While his athleticism and leadership are still highly regarded, questions about his ability to lead the team to a championship persist, and those questions appear to be gaining traction at the highest levels of the Eagles' front office. The GM's active search for alternatives has not been confirmed publicly, but league sources suggest that the Eagles have quietly evaluated potential quarterback prospects in the upcoming draft and may even be open to a trade if the right opportunity arises. This marks a dramatic shift from the unwavering support Hurts enjoyed just 1 year ago after leading the team to a Super Bowl appearance. This possible pivot signals a high-stakes gamble by the Eagles' management, one that could reshape the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. Moving on from a quarterback with Hurts' dual-threat ability and locker room respect would not be without risk. Yet it also reflects a franchise unwilling to settle for anything less than sustained excellence and postseason success. As speculation grows, all eyes will be on Philadelphia in the coming weeks. Whether this is a strategic move to push Hurts to a higher level or the first step in a dramatic change remains to be seen. For now, the Eagles' quarterback situation is no longer as clear-cut as it once seemed. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.